Hey everybody, welcome to the Knowledge Pool, a think tank of games and magic. Today we're going to be trying something a little different. I've been thinking of ways of putting out a little more information to you guys through the week, something more consistent when it comes to videos. And one of the ideas that was brought up was just me talking about the things that have happened recently in terms of things magic involved, and just giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on it. So first, let's talk about the most recent banning, Field of the Dead banned in Historic. Now, I think we all saw Field of the Dead coming up in the ban list. I mean, it was a prolific player before it was suspended. Not much had changed in terms of getting rid of Field after Historic, even with the addition of Jumpstart and Amonkhet. We're still not seeing a lot of stuff to react to the land base as much as we'd like. But we did end up getting our Promise, which made Field of the Dead decks so much better. So I'm glad that they banned it. Even though, personally, I wasn't having too many problems with it. I tend to play mono black, so I was running Massacre Worm. Massacre Worm punishes Field really, really hard. But in general, it was causing too many problems to people outside of the part of the color pool that I stay in for it to be a fair and balanced situation. You shouldn't have to run black just to get rid of Field, just like you shouldn't have to run Ghost Quarter or Rune Field, whatever it's called, destroy target land. So I think that overall we'll see a healthier version of Historic. I have been seeing a little bit of that when I play Historic on Arena recently, with the return of Feather decks showing themselves. A new version of the Dreadhorde Arcanist deck that doesn't run Feather. I'm not really enjoying my games against Aristocrats right now, but I've been playing a lot of mono green, so maybe there's a way to deal with that too. Have to look into it. Companions, even though they have been showing a lot less player base, are still showing to be pretty heavy includes in a lot of the decks in Historic, which actually is kind of a good thing. It means that they've created a card type that's not just going to become irrelevant the second it goes out of Standard. But it does have a really heavy presence in some of the decks in Historic. I'm not 100% certain how I feel about that. You can let me know what you think, and maybe we'll do a video on it and discuss it. Second thing that we should talk about is the new Supreme Draft on MTGO. Now, I'm not much of a Mitgo player myself. I tend to play on Arena pretty exclusively. I have a Paper Commander group that before everything went nuts in the world, we would go and play Paper together, but we haven't done that in quite a while. And now I do my stuff exclusively on Arena. Mitgo is not a bad service at all, but it is not one that I tend to like to put money into. The same arguments that people make for Arena, I can kind of make for Mitgo when it comes to the price involved and and not really getting to keep your cards because it's a digital service or whatever. But in my own experiences with it, Arena tends to be an eighth of the price, and all I give up for that is not playing formats that I don't usually play anyway. So for me, Arena's the right choice. But if you do play Mitgo, they are creating a format that they call Supreme Draft. The first one is going to be Ravnica sets minus War of the Sparks, and looks like the second one's going to be Modern Horizons 1. So the idea is going to be that you will get 18 packs, I think, of sets, and you will pull 2 cards from each pack before you pass the pack, and the new pack will be a fresh pack for you. This is a totally solo draft experience. And then, after you get your first and second pick from each of these 18 packs, you'll build a deck with the 36 cards you got and with as many basic lands as you want, and build yourself a limited deck. I think that this is going to be super, super cool. Like, the amount of cohesion depending on what they put together, the kind of combos that you can put together without ever have to worrying about something wheeling or something moving forward. It's kind of a interesting mesh between draft and sealed, and me as a sealed player, I'm always looking for ways to kind of spice up sealed but not have to go into draft as much. This is a good go-between for people like me who also play Mitgo. So if you play Mitgo, it might be something you look into. I would like to hear from my MTGO players and find out what they think of it after it's come out, because honestly, without playing it, I don't feel like I'm going to have a good amount of first impressions to do on it. But maybe after it gets played a little bit, if I get some feedback, I'll go into things and we'll see what's going on. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is the spoilers for Commander Legends has started, and they've already released a rare level land cycle that's coming. It is the rest of the Battle Bond cycle, the enemy versions of those lands that come out untapped if you have 2 or more opponents. Perfect for a Commander style thing, but it is making people wonder, where are the Fetchlands? I'm not going to speculate on where the Fetchlands actually are. I don't think that it matters that much, and I can do a whole video over the importance of reprints and where they go and where they should belong. I personally think that if they don't give a substantial, significant reprint to Fetchlands, that people are going to raise the riot flags, and I think with decent reason. What I will say is that it's not unheard of that there'd be 2 rare land cycles in a set. I don't think that that would be an insane thing to do given the size of the set that's coming out. And also, I think that they said they were going to reprint it somewhere, and until they say it's here, here's the reprint, there's no reason to really speculate in which box it's going to be in. If it ends up being in this, or in some sort of standalone product, or if it's going to be a secret lair or whatever, we'll all know before the end of the year, because they said there was going to be a reprint before the end of the year. And if it's not good enough, we will deal with it. As a community, as a whole, we will do something that makes our voices heard. And that's all I really have for today. So I hope that this little news break gave you something to look at. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, show me some love, and let me know what you want to see in these sort of small burst videos. In the meantime, I've been Dish, and everybody, out of the pool.